Morning, everyone. So, for this video, we're going to talk about the WTC orc list. There's 14 of them. I believe there's 36 teams. It's one of the most popular armies, actually, at WTC. I think it's third or fourth. They have 14, demons and warriors have 15, and nothing else has higher than that. So we'll go through some of the usual suspects. Obviously, I run the other tournaments, so I've seen a lot of lists and seen a lot of these people already. It does seem like there is a funner shift, or not a more fun shift in some of the armies. Of the 14, there's 5 wyverns, and there were 0 wyverns in the last event that had like around, I don't know how many orc players, around like a good bit. So that's something. But let's just see if we see anything cool in the list. So Aaron and I speak a good bit. Okay. We'll take the list for what it is. Okay, we have a Warlord, Machete Shankin, Death Cheater. Yep. Okay. 520. It's weird, not weird, but it's kind of interesting when you don't go like the Iron Orc route, how cheap he is. So his save is only what? Heavy Armor, Death Cheater, Shield. It's a 3+, but in combat it's only a 4-up, so he's a 4-up with 5 strength. I mean, it's cheap-ish, right? I mean, I had a Boar Lord. A strong Boar Lord is about as many points as this. Now, you get a better save on the Boar. You lose the 18 inches and fly. So, I'm curious how it works for him. A Shamanism Master. Okay. Oh, Double Master. Alright. He doesn't play Double Master before. I don't know why he took Talisman of the Void. I don't think that's needed one bit. I would have rather had a Binding Scroll. I mean, he has enough units that he's going to get 3, 5 probably channels a turn. I don't know if he needs 6 a turn. I know why he took the wolf, but man, it sucks that the wolf is so expensive. I know why it is, because you can make easy cowboys and chaff, so you can't have too cheap a wolf for the Chiefs, but it kind of sucks on a BSB when you have to pay so much for it. But I see the use of it. Don't like that feral unit. I think 45 points for a banner. At 24 bodies is not a lot. I'd rather have a bigger unit. Orc Boar Riders, okay. 3-up save, yep. No. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so obviously I'll tell you that I'm not a fan of this list, and he'll watch my video, and I'll tell him straight to his face that I think I like some of the ideas. I just think it's like, I'll give you an example. Why does your Goblin Chief need to be on a wolf? Why can't, I mean, he doesn't have stubborn for his unit. I would have much preferred like the BSB to be like, I like the Iron Orc unit. I just think that it being stubborn with a good solid character is one of the greatest strengths of it. So not taking a Iron Orc character, probably the BSB, because you can get a solid one for like 250. Like if you drop Talisman of the Void and maybe something else and upgrade that BSB to be stronger, I would like that unit a lot. I think the 24 orcs are a little small. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring, so that's pretty good. Though 2 of them are kind of shit. I don't think you need 4 units of chaff, 3 units of chaff in this list. I guess he's going to put his characters? Where is the mage going? That's weird. I don't... Okay. Giants without the weapons are fine, though. I think they're worth the points. They're probably better than scrap wagons to have the extra strength. Like, I don't like this list that much, but I also don't... I mean, I don't like it that much. I'm not a huge fan. I don't know what the hell the boar's doing. I mean, those boar riders are going to get mauled if that character's in them. It's interesting. The problem is, and I say this with kindness in my heart to Aaron. If this list fails, it won't just be because of the list. It'll be because I think it's not easy to play. There's some minor tweaks that I think could make it better, but Aaron has been working on improving his game. But I kind of like some of the parts of it. I like this. Is that it? I think there's a lot more Iron Orcs in this tournament. So PE, Peg. So he's a good French player, one of the better orc players in the tournament. Um, there are actually a good bit of orc players I don't know, but a good bit of, I think, pretty good orc players in this event. So, paired weapons, okay, yep, his typical. He's basically been doing this forever. Oh, he added a Gargantula. He didn't have that before. Alright. Typical core he takes. One chaff unit. Nashers. He looks like he's been dropping some Iron Orcs here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring. Weird. I mean, I don't know 100% why he does this Nasher layout like 22, 19, 10 and not maybe different. He's got a great green idol BSB. It's typical. This is a typical Peg list, though. He added a Spider King. Interesting. I mean, this is different than the list I took in the last event, but I had the same 3 like big things, and I hated it. So, hopefully, maybe the double masters will actually do better for him. I mean, he loves using it, so that's something I still haven't tried that I still like. So, come on, you gotta change your list. I do like that he added something new though, because he's been running the same shit the whole time. I don't know if I like the core, but it's nothing different. All right, Balden's list. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but he also posted these lists on the thread, so I appreciate that. Easy for me to grab. So I do like I do like this build actually of the hero, because so he keeps the lance. He has a good save still, so he's a 3-up in combat, right? Heavy armor. Yeah, he's a 3-up, 4-up in combat. He has MR in case it's for magic. He's still a little susceptible. I know why he's trying to get the 18-inch general's range out there. I can appreciate that a lot in Orcs and Goblins. And he's Zappabow. I think actually gets really good on this kind of character, because he's light troop, so he can march and shoot. He's extra strength 5, so he's the only character. Orc Warlord's the only strength 5 character, so it actually becomes a really nice, like, I think it's, if you're going to be a little bit more defensive with the characters, I think that's a really cool idea. Do I think it's the most efficient 575 points? I don't know. I'm curious how it does in some of the matchups, because I'm always scared of, like, people just straight up trying to kill him. He's not that hard to kill. I guess because he can hide behind things, but. Alright, Wait, does he not have a BSB? Oh, he's an idol. Oh, thank God. I forgot that idols could be BSBs for a second. I like that Nasher guy. I think they're cool for 150. I should probably try them more. I get why he took Legion Standard. He doesn't Vanguard. I still like the other banner more. Nets are really good, though. I mean, that's a really obnoxious unit. 4 ranks with Nets and Thom Magic. Big Spear, okay, that's pretty good. I don't... The bunker is whatever to me. 8 Trolls, okay. Splatter, Web Launcher. No, that's cute. I don't know how it'll do. I've been kind of scared to take the idols nowadays. But maybe, or the standard bearer version. I don't like that. That's more of how I played them. Oh, this is a cute list. I'm curious to see how it does. I don't know if he's a good player or not, so it's hard for me to read too much into it. But it's nice to see something different with, like, the Wyvern setup. I actually kind of like the Zap and Bow on a Orc hero. Subspace. Okay, this guy's popular. Yep. Another double master list. Oh, we're getting a couple of double masters lists this event, which is, they're semi-popular before, but maybe they're getting more popular now, because I don't know. It's just nice to have a lot of range threat. Obviously, I still have not done it. Okay, fighty. 2 chaff. Man, a lot of Great Green Adults BSBs. We've already seen 3 of the 4 lists have it. Oh, that's interesting to me. I think the next list has it too. Man, there's so many lists with it. I like refuse to use that right now. Fighty list, good magic. Not much range, but got the Pyromaster to help with it. Not bad. Again, like, some of these lists might run into trouble of like they just kind of, I will see when I'm done. Lure always does cool ideas. Okay, well he is taking a wyvern. He's taking a gargantula wizard master. Okay, this is, and he's taking a general. So I don't love the gargantula. There's a list in the last event that did pretty well, but he wasn't necessarily on the best team, so I don't want to like be like, oh my gosh, the Witch Doctor and Gargantula is the new thing. I'll give it. It's 200 more points than the other hero version. It's your fucking mage on it. You get a 5-up save versus ranged, but not in combat. You get an extra spell, which is worth like 50 points. And I guess you have some maneuverability and some. I guess if you use it as more like a mobile, kind of like a. I don't want to call it a vermin demon, but in a way, like right, like a vermin demon doesn't always fight all the time, but when he needs to fight, he can. I don't even feel comfortable using that analogy, but I guess if you keep it safe and cast magic, it's kind of cool. And I know Lure likes to try these like more unique things. Let's see, he has a so he does the Iron Orc one, which is probably a little better because it's a 2-up 4-up instead of 4-up shield. Yeah. He has a 2-up 4-up with a decent weapon. He's not the fightiest, but he's more tanky. 18-inch general. Okay. Adapt to shamanism. Can't hate on that. See, I like a bigger unit of feral orcs more. He has goblins, so he does the Legion too. I guess if you're not like a super aggro list, there's no reason to do Relentless. You can do the Legion and just hold up things. Bridge Trolls. So he's doing. I had this unit in my list. Is he missing something? I feel like these points-wise, these are wrong. No, we're 64. He didn't take lances. Okay, so he didn't take lances. A solid scoring unit for cheap. Not the biggest fan of that one. A chaff. Yeah, I kind of. He always has like unique ideas. I don't know if it'll work, but. Wrecking Ball Giant. You don't see that very often. Get launchers. All right, Tudix Guard. Toughness 6. Is that really a boar? Oh, he's on foot. Oh shit. So he's on foot with the plate armor. So he's a 4-up, 5-up with toughness 6. But he's going in a big ass Iron Orc unit. See, this is where like if you have this unit, why not have a character to go in it? He does have this guy to go in it too. Oh no, it's Common Orc. Good. I was gonna say he might be wasting his points doing both. Feral Orc Shaman Master Binding Scroll. I don't know where that is. He going in the bow unit? It's interesting. I don't even know how to feel about this list. I don't know if I like it or not. It's not my favorite list. Little Cow. Is he taking the same stuff he normally takes? That's normal for him. That's normal for him. That's new. All right. There we go. I do like that guy. I think Posture Strength is good on him. If you have the point. What else we got? Yeah, this is a typical Little Cow list. He loves his shooting. He takes an idol. He takes some Asher, some trolls. Yeah, this is all pretty standard. He likes taking these goblin units a lot. I don't know if I mean, it's standard. I'm like, it's nothing new. This is the top scoring orc player from last event. Drum. We talked a little bit. That's pretty cool. So he takes a common orc, but he takes Panda Pinchin. That's actually pretty nice because a lot of things that try to kill him, like having a good. It's probably a better item than I give credit for too, because you know things that can. I mean, obviously normal things can kill him, but with shamanism plus like. If you're fighting a one-up rollable save hero or something with a good ward save or like a demon, you just get their save. Like there are a lot of where that item can become really annoying. A good chief, I mean that's a great build to get MR2 plus. You know, I think it's a 2-up save, 4-up alloy, so 4-up normal. He has a shield, alloy, Willow's Ward. He's a 1-up if he wants it. if he changes between his, if he's a 1-up or 2-up. Yeah, I like that build because he does take a big ass unit of, Iron Orcs. He takes the king, who I'm up and down on. A double master, yep. Cheap double master. I do kind of like that he keeps it cheap. He just takes 8 spells. He doesn't take anything else. That other guy on Thom is pretty nice because, like, when you have this setup, you can much more easily go for, like, 5 dice comets because you don't, like, if your guy dies, he dies. It sucks. It's 355. But if the comet's that big, like, sometimes it might be worth the risk. And you have other spells to kind of back you up. Chaff unit, I guess just a unit. I mean, that is a cheap unit with 3 ranks and 3. I guess maybe I underappreciate how cheap that unit actually is, because I always take Madgits, who are like a lot of the cost of the actual goblins. Like, if you really take away Madgits and like even the required banner to make them fast, in my opinion, you're talking 245 points. You're talking almost half the cost of just the Madgit delivery system. You really can get a good bit in just like parry guys. An Ed Bash unit, sure, he took that before. He has a bunker. It's the only bunker, really. Some chaff, growlings, a unique different type of chaff that's cheaper. A double spider, I know he likes that. A big ass. Yeah, his scoring's a little better now. And 3 splatters, yeah. I do like this list. I think it's pretty efficient. I think it's a very solid, like, I know he's used as like the shield more, like to go up first, because he can deal with a lot of matchups or at least make it games. This is kind of similar to what I talked about with my list, where it's just like you take 3 catapults. He has a big, stubborn block that his characters can go in if needed. Double master. You can sit there and just say, all right, I'm he doesn't take trolls. He takes the Iron Orcs instead, which honestly, like, I can see it. Like, 8 trolls does more damage in most cases, but it needs more babysitting. They both can't flee. One's faster, but a big Iron Orc unit, that's nothing to sneeze at with buffs and stuff like that. And the fact that, like, this army feels like the enemy kind of has to come at you, depending on how much magic and shooting they have, because Shamanism Thom is like a super strong combo, maybe one of the best combos in the game for Double Master. I talked about this in one of my videos. If I like to play this style more, and maybe I should give it like a full, like, all in, like this kind of style Double Master, I like this list a lot. I know I talked to him about it a little bit, so I really like that. Ooh, here we go. Typical king, okay. So he does the general, okay. This is common too sometimes, is to take the master. The adept is the general, and the master is not, if you go this route. I guess because then you can have a Thom master. It's better to have the goblin witch doctor do it. Yep, delivery system. Oh, he does Coward King. Nice. Discipline, good bunker. Chaff. Another scoring unit, I guess. So he does this too, but he doesn't have a... See, this is just the thing. Like, I get it. I like this unit, but it would just be nice. It would just be nice if it, like, hold on a second. 572. It would just be nice if it had a character to make it stubborn. I just think it being stubborn is one of the greatest purposes of it, because it has the bodyguard and it's so hard to, like, break through. And, like, it's one, like, that's the thing with trolls. Like, if you beat it by, like, 1 or 2, you might just fucking break it, right? If you flank it, this unit, you could be like, fuck it, you flank me. If you're not fighty enough, it'll just reform and kill you. So that's what I don't like about a lot of people are taking big Iron Orcs, because this unit has it too. But does he have a guy thing go in it? He does. Okay. Ooh. Also, there's a lot of big Iron Orc units in this fucking tournament. All right. 3 chariots. I don't know about this list. It feels like a weird mix of, like, it's not fast enough to follow up on the vanguarding, like, shit. And maybe it's just for 18-inch range. I don't know. It doesn't feel... It feels like a mix of ideas. Like... Yeah. Again, I don't think it's a bad army. I just don't. It feels like it's a mix of ideas that it's like defensively, like this feels more like kind of slow defensive. This feels like go out there and fucking do something though. You could just hold the threat. Like I actually, as much as I love my 18-inch BSB, blah blah blah, I almost feel like this should be not Cavern King. It should be like a good like this build up here to make this unit like a solid center. I do think people are trying Black Orcs now more or Iron Orcs now, not just because of the. I do think it's a strong core to have, especially if you have you have like in this list, right? You have 3 splatters behind it, double master, and then you have to run into Ed Bashers and Iron Orcs. Like, that's not easy, but also just because they're scoring. They're a scoring unit that doesn't need to be babysat as much, and I think being scoring in Orcs just provides like a really good hold the center thing. I do like it, and I do actually want to try that. I would try something like this. I don't know. I would probably change a couple things, but all right, another one. Oh, this is a weird format. Another Great Grand LBSB. So many. So this guy has an orc, an iron orc that goes on foot. See, the problem I have with like Destiny's Call, I get it. You're paying 70 points for okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Ooh, he takes a wyvern. Ooh, that's an expensive wyvern. Oh, he really pays the points for it. Okay. Double binding scroll. I don't know why he doesn't take them both on the master on foot. Why would you make this guy so expensive? I definitely think the binding scroll should be on this guy. There's nothing that says you can't take 2, and why would you want your board chariot guy who could die to not be to have the binding scroll? Okay, it's an expensive unit. I mean, this guy just, I guess that's a bunker. That's for his general. Some shooting. That's a weird list. I don't know how I don't. My thing that's kind of like I don't love is, I mean, I guess the Wyvern Chief is not actually his fight. I mean, he spends a lot of points to make that guy a little bit more defensive, but he's still like susceptible. It's just a lot of points for that guy. Jesus. Was as much as a guy on foot. It's a slower list. It's very slow. Other than, I don't know. I feel like this is another thing. Like I get the Great Green Idol BSB, but I just feel like in some pairings, it's just gonna be like everything's gonna shoot him. It's just he's the very clear target, and it just scares me. It just scares me. I don't know. Another Great Grand LBSB, right? What is with this format? Okay, another Pan of Pension. I can get behind that. This format is awful. This guy on foot? I don't know about that. Why is everyone taking Shady Shanking? I kind of like it. I don't mind this. I don't hate this guy on foot. Mine was only, he took Binding Scroll, so his was, yeah, okay. Interesting. Does he have a guy on the board? I don't know, but this list looks weird. I don't know who this is, but this is a weird list. It's like, wait. Oh, has a shamanism mastery. Yes. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this list. I don't really love this list. I don't know. There's nothing like why this? What is this doing in this list that's so great? Like, you don't have a character that needs to go in it. As much as I hate to say it, it could be an Iron Orc. And this could be an Iron Orc. But you could just have a stubborn unit. I mean, you can't, I don't know. Oh my god, this format, that should be like that. Okay, I don't know. I feel like his army isn't fast enough to, like, really use the Grotling chaff. Like, they pretty much have to chaff early, usually, just because of how slow they are. So it's like, you put this in front of somebody and then you have nothing to, like, go after it. I don't know about this list. This is weird to me. Stottle's list. Gregory and LBSP. Man, we are tons of those. Like, really. Like, I'm going to count them after this game. Good shooting. I don't know how I feel about Scrapwagon. Scoring. He does the big spider. Sure. I love this guy. Double Binding Scroll. I'm down with it. Just 4 spells? Oh, he's a Witch Doctor, right? Okay. I didn't love this combo of magic when I played it, but it's fine. Big Feral Orcs with Spear, yep. I like that he put spears. Oh, he doesn't do... That's right. This is like the only army with a Leadership 8 General. Yep. It's not bad. I don't like Leadership 8 Generals. That's scary to me. I know he went to double binding instead of it. It's 10 more points to put the other one in. It's probably worth it. 8 just sucks. 8 for like frenzy checks. When it works and you don't pay the points for it, sure, it's great, but I don't know. It's again, King, Spider, might have the same issues. Good shooting. Yeah. He's been playing this type of list for a while, I think. Recognize this name. First, Skewers, because normally we have Catapults. I do think Catapults are better, but he takes both. Alright, Big Ass Ed Bashers, Common Orcs, Shield Stalkers. Does he have a character on a boar? So, I like this Lord. Is this on a boar? Nope, this is on foot. Boar Chariot. Okay, we're seeing more of this lately. There's actually a lot of like there's like 2 or 3 shamanism, or a couple chariot adepts. I actually think it's you know, the more I kind of remembered using them before, and then I kind of went away from them. But I've been asking myself and others, why is orc? You know, our mages are like 300 some points. And, you know, we're like as expensive as high elf mages and dark elf mages. And I guess the question is like, we don't have any cool rule to make us better at casting like those do, or you know what I mean? Like we're just kind of, our casting's just average. We're toughness 4, sure, great. We don't have good leadership. We're 8. You know, we're not like resilience 5 or anything. And I guess some of the arguments was, we have more options to be like on chariots and stuff. So if you make them too cheap, like the chariot adepts become too good since it's all linked together. I think that makes sense. So does that mean that like orcs should be utilizing the chariot type characters more? Like, you know, this 2 for 1, it's a 320 adept, but also why they're both shamanism? That's weird. Okay, I don't like that. I get why the chariot one's adept shamanism, because you want it. It's kind of like a nice combo to be like wounded on 5s, but at the same time, anyway, like is the best style for orcs like multiple adepts on chariots and just say, all right, my magic isn't going to be as strong as a master mage, but I have these guys who, you know, 220 points for an adept on a chariot for goblin. It's just like, okay, he can hit things in the flank. He can, you know, if you're more aggressive. I don't know. At the same time, I think, you know, maybe we just go... It depends on the style. I've talked about this in another video, and we'll see it with my list. Let me finish this list. Okay. Man, well, there are a lot of big-ass Iron Orc units this event. I like it. I like to think... I don't know. Did I ever mention that in the video where I said it was good? Not that I think everybody listens to me. But I'm curious. We're seeing a lot more of these. Like, there's nothing happened in the last event. There was no good giant Iron Orc player. I think the one list, like, Aaron did awful. So, it's like, what has sparked this craze of Iron Orcs? And it's a boar guy, so you can go in both. Does he have a BSB on foot, at least? I do not like that build. I don't hate it, but I think the other one's better with the MR and stuff. Seems like a really small unit. Oh, wow, it's that many points. Holy shit. Alright. Interesting army. I don't know if I love it. And then there's mine. A little different from what I said in my last video. I changed a couple things. Um, so definitely have, man, going through all these lists, I definitely have a lot of, not a lot of super different things, but I definitely, my list is not exactly like the others, right? I have my Pock Lord. What did I change? I put poster strength on this guy because somebody said to, and I had 10 points. I have a Wyvern, but it's like the cheapest Wyvern you can get, just because I want to. I don't want him to be too expensive. He flies. He's a cowboy. He does his thing, but I don't want him to like feel like if he dies. So I look at that Iron Orc one that was like 465 with Death Cheater, and I ask myself, like, at what point is the save just better? And maybe he's right, because with Death Cheater you have a 2-up, 4-up. You're shit against right, 4-up, shield, Death Cheater. Yeah, 2-up, 4-up for 150 more points. But you kind of sit there and ask yourself, like, is that? I don't have the hero points in this list. Is that just worth it because he's a high valuable wound anyway? Why not just protect it? And maybe it is. Maybe I go too cheap sometimes on it. I take the relentless, goblins with nets and everything. The big change was I had 7 boars and then 2x6 mounted Ed Bashers that were common with shields and lances. So I had 4 scoring instead of the 3 I have now, but they were weaker scoring. And I guess these are slightly stronger and can actually house my warlord from like magic and cannons, which is pretty good. And then I added 3 Grotlings as chaff instead of the raiders, just because it was cheaper. So yeah, my list is definitely like, of the ones I've seen, the most aggressive, because the slowest thing I have is, if you don't count the scouting Vanguard Grotlings, my slowest thing is my bunker, my skirmishing bunker. Everything else like Vanguards or moves 7 or 8 or flies. I mean, there's not much to say. We'll see if it works. I specifically, did this on purpose, the super aggressive style. I guess we're going to have to see. So what do we see? Let's just look up the idol thing. Spell it right. So there are 7 great green idols, so we'll start at the top. We got 1 is a BSB, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So half the list have a great green idol BSB. Interesting. There's 5 wyverns, I believe. 5 wyverns. Iron orcs. There's the 1. So there's 1 big unit, 2, 3. Say 19's big. 4, 5, 6. I didn't start from the top. Small unit, big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 big units of Iron Orcs? Okay. How many trolls we got this event? Only 5 units of trolls. That's down. I do know that some of us talking about it haven't been the biggest fan of trolls. I think they're very strong. They're good for their points. I think the babysitting is an issue sometimes. I think one of the biggest, they're more defensive, because if you go aggressive with trolls, sometimes they can just get like out of position, and if you don't have your general there, it's like it's like if you face like a big unit of trolls, if you like fuck it up in some way that it has to get out of general's range, it's just useless. And like if they can't get their general back in range, it's just awful. Like I had that happen in my game where I played Skaven and got 9. I charged a big unit, I broke it, I had to chase it because it was worth a ton of points, and my unit sitting in the back of the board, fail for stupidity, sure, on a 4, and then I get my general in range with no BSB, I fail it, and I can't risk my general going that far. And it's just, my 550 point unit just stood at the edge of the board doing nothing. He never killed it, but I didn't have it for the rest of the game. From a defensive standpoint, I mean, I think Allure's list is very cool. I'm curious to see how some of that works. I like Baldwin's Warlord setup a lot. This is a normal thing. Aaron, no, nothing special there. How many of this? This is probably, I would say, one of the the most efficient like defensive list, but can still do offensive things. Like it's still, if you push with 2 spiders and 23 iron orcs, it still does stuff. And maybe it's the right choice. Maybe you don't like. I'm loaded with like cowboys and stuff. Maybe the right choice is not to load up on cowboys. Like I have a lot of single models, which I like playing with. Um, and he only has 2 to my 5 if you want to count the 2 spiders, and I have 2 spiders, a lord that charges out, a spider hero who I think is really strong. And I mean, it's just different. It's just a different style. It's hard to run into this list. Maybe I'll play 2 masters one day. I like defensive wise. I like his list the most. I don't know who's gonna do the best. I think at pairing, I think it all comes down to who plays what matchups. Are you on a good team? Oh, I guess it's a different system with the group, so we'll just see. But yeah, I do like that. Like we're seeing some different things this event. I think it's not like the whole new world of Orc list, but we only have 5 troll units. We have 7 idle BSBs. We have 5 wyverns. We have like 5 or 6 big ass Iron Orc units who you weren't seeing that before. So I like these. I like that people are trying new things. There's still probably, I think the Chariot Adepts are coming back in the style. I think there's still some things out there that the Orc book is just so varied, and there's so many things to try that it's funny that I played 50 games or more than 50 games at this point with Orcs, and I almost forget about some of the options we have because I can get very focused on like my list and my style and stuff, but I forget that Chariot Adepts are actually pretty good. You know what I mean? Like you just forget that like we have that option out there, and is that like a style to do? You almost or I forget that I've always wanted to try the Nasher Heroes because they're 150, they fly, and they have like 6 strength 6 attacks. Right? And if they die, they die. Like that single model style. So to me, my to end this video, my normal cycle has been play Orcs, like them, don't like them. I find whether I like them, but then there's always something I'm like maybe they're not strong enough or something. Then I make another army list, like a Dark Elf list, and I'm like this bores me, and then I come back to Orcs. So there's something that draws us in, but let's see how the tournament goes. Thanks for listening.